joined on site once again, first and foremost, by my buddy, Grandmaster Robert Hess. And Robert, it seems the storyline of today is, Magnus, what happened, buddy? It seems like you missed a big opportunity, or did he just not recognize the potential he had for an advantage with the black pieces?
Yeah, Danny, I think he must have underestimated the opportunity with 15 pawn to f5. In this move gives black the advantage in almost every single line. It's very clear that he would have been in the driver's seat, and instead he played a bit passively and liquidated into what is an easy drawn endgame, but it was not optimistic, not adventurous enough for my liking.
Yeah, and let's show the fans exactly what your analysis says after f5. The main point, everybody, is that obviously the knight is under attack, and moving the knight to a random square, let's go to g5, would allow variations where at the end of the smoke clearing, this bishop comes to f6, and the a2 pawn is a problem. In fact, when that a2 pawn, if that a2 pawn did fall, black would be completely winning with the knight coming into c3. That would force moves like knight to d4, went after trades, pawn takes to avoid the fork that would occur on c2. Black is simply in the driver's seat playing a very good knight versus what is going to be a poor bishop, because the center pawn is blocking that bishop's mobility. It's on the same color, and it's an isolated queen pawn. I mean, this is like a Magnus Carlsen fantasy, to be honest, and it's exactly the kind of thing that we expected him to get out of the opening. All of us watching this game live, Robert, felt that the trend, the evaluation, things were shifting black's direction ever since he surprised his opponent with this move knight to c6. But why didn't Magnus realize it, right? That was the big question. Now, after the move castles was played, he had yet another opportunity. Bishop a3 comes, and here, as your analysis said, rook to c8 was again wrong. Tell everybody what he should have played and why that would have kept the advantage also possibly.
Yeah, he should have went rook to b8 there. He moved his rook one move too far. And the point is the bishop on b7 is well defended. It leaves white quite tangled up. There will never be any of these knight f6 check ideas, like I said, because the bishop on b7 is well guarded. So instead, if he had gone rook b8, it would have allowed his queen to go to a5 if the queens aren't traded. And if the queens are traded, black gets quick control over the d file. And the knight on b4 is actually quite a strong piece and leaves white quite tied down.
Yeah, I just showed the fans the line real quick. If my earpiece fell out, fans, that's what this is a live show. That's why I had to put it back in. You started giving the line and my earpiece wasn't in. But this, as we see, would give black the d file, and if the queens are not traded, as Robert said, the black queen come to a5. And okay, the game is not over, but this is a completely equal, very dynamic middle game. Carlsen couldn't ask for more, probably even with the white pieces. And that's, as I let you go, Robert, I think that's the big point about this, is that you could argue that Magnus came into these back-to-back blacks, right? Games 6 and 7, he was getting back-to-back blacks and already had this sort of predetermined mindset that 2 draws, putting himself in the driver's seat, he now has 3 whites for the remaining 5 games. Maybe that was all he had in mind, but I can't think that he and his team aren't kicking themselves a little bit tonight when they look at this game and realize, wow, this was a game that, like game 4, Magnus maybe could have won as black.
Yeah, absolutely, Danny. It would have given a clear advantage, and I think the psychology played against him in this one, the fact that he wanted to make those 2 draws in 2 straight black games, and he did so with ease, I might add, but that actually hurt his chance to actually win this game, because when he did get a dynamic position that favored him, he didn't make the most of his chance. Instead, played a bit too solidly, played a bit too much like Karjakin, quite honestly, and made an easy draw. But with 3 white games, the remaining 5, it's all Carlsen. He's dominating the course of the match. He has really changed the trajectory into his favor. So I think he still has great chances, and only 1 win might be enough considering how many draws have been played thus far.